Today's video, I'm going to be talking about real estate as far as should you buy, should you rent, and all that good stuff.
In the face of death, I won't back down. I'm the credit crusader, right?
Okay, that's right, the Crusader's back. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about real estate and some of the things I've been seeing as far as other creators talking about what you should do as far as should you buy, should you rent, and all that good stuff. Now, I'm going to get right into it. When you look at the real estate prices right now, it's clear that a lot of people can't afford to buy a house. And there's a lot of influencers on YouTube, TikTok, that are saying, oh, it's better to rent. See, if you rent and then buy a house where you're going to rent to others and all this kind of stuff. All right, this is something that I know from experience. I've bought a house to live in. I have rentals. I know all sides of the coin. And I've also been a renter, someone who rents. When it comes to getting real estate, no one's going to tell you this, but I will, because I'm just going to be honest. The easiest way to acquire real estate is by buying a single family home or condo, townhouse, what have you, that is going to be your primary residence. That is the easiest way to acquire the property, not through a business, not getting funding from all this creative stuff, using private money, all this rigmarole. No, that is not the easiest way. The easiest way is just to buy it as a house you're going to live in, because first of all, you're going to get the best interest rate. There are programs like first-time home buyer programs like HomePath that are going to make it easier for you to get in, because the government, they deem that they want to see single families and people, they want to see them owning their own homes. So that's why these programs exist, to help you get in there. I know there's a lot of people on the internet that are all talking about, oh yeah, like they know all this trickery, like, oh yeah, you take this money here and then move it around, the square root of the hypotenuse. No, that's not reality. That's clickbait bullshit. And I've been seeing a lot of that kind of stuff, the clickbait bullcrap that's just false. It honestly upsets me, because I know it's false, and these people are gaining traction, just leading the flock off a cliff. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are saying, oh no, it's better to rent. You should rent instead of buying. Well, the way I feel about renting is, yeah, okay, if you can't afford to buy a house, or if you're looking for a house, yeah, rent. You don't have any other choice. I mean, what's the other choice? Living with your parents? I mean, there's only really two options. If you're a grown adult, that's either you're going to rent or you're going to own. Nobody lives for free unless you're a child. Nobody lives for free. Or I guess if you're in jail, free accommodations there. But in all seriousness, you got to pay to where you live. So that payment monthly is going to either your landlord or to the mortgage company. So in my opinion, I'd rather see that going towards an asset. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, Crusader, the housing market is going to crash. The housing market's going to crash. So you'd be stupid to buy a house right now. You know what? Maybe the housing market, it will crash. Maybe it won't. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. There's a lot of people that have been saying the housing market's going to crash for the past, I want to say 4 years now. We all know who I'm talking about.
How's it going, guys? This is Nick from Reventure Consulting. This is the video you have all been waiting for. I'm officially calling it as of the second week of June 2021. The U.S. housing market crash has started. That's right. We've passed the peak U.S. housing bubble, and from this point on, things are going to start to go south, and they're going to start to go south really, really fast.
Has the housing market crashed? I don't think so. I mean, please leave in the comments if you feel as though the housing market's crashed. Most people out there that I talk to, they're still think that housing is unaffordable. So with that being said, this is what I'm going to say. If you buy a house and you live in it, you really can't go wrong, because you're living in the house. So if the housing market crashes, okay, you still have the house. You wouldn't have bought it if you couldn't afford it, right? So you live in the house and wait for it to go back up. All the people who bought during the 2008 collapse, remember all that? They're now way ahead with their real estate. Another thing that people don't like to talk about or never do mention is the fact that just because you buy a house as a primary residence, that doesn't mean you can't turn it into a rental later. That just means you have to move into it and technically legally live in it for a year. After that, you can do whatever you want with the property as long as it's zoned for that and there's no restrictions like an association or something like that, or like a 55 and older community. So I see like nobody talks about this, but just buy the house as a single family residence or a primary residence, and then if you want to move, just go ahead and buy another one and rent that one out. Like, why does anybody do that? Nobody talks about doing that. Another thing nobody talks about is, how about trying to find a house that maybe is in a little disrepair, that you can actually go in and use a little elbow grease, if you know what I'm saying, to fix it up, to be able to acquire a property like that. You see, there aren't a lot of people out there that are willing to sacrifice like that, live in a place that's maybe substandard and then bring it up while they're living in it, fix it up. Like, not a lot of people are willing to do that. So because of that fact, you could definitely capitalize on that by going in, grabbing a place and fixing it up. Actually, I come from experience. That's something I did with a property. My wife and I, the beautiful Supergirl, we bought a place that didn't show well at all. The carpet was all crappy from dogs. It needed to be painted. The lighting was bad, all that kind of stuff. But you know what we did? We bought it. And over the years, we got on our hands and knees, ripped out the tile, replaced all the stuff, painted the place. I mean, we put a lot of work in, but as of right now, it's an awesome rental because of it. Now, I mean, all I'm saying is it can be done. And this whole like perpetually renting thing, that actually, I have a problem with that because big corporations are buying up a lot of single family homes and they want to control the rental market. Even though I'm a landlord and even though I own real estate and it serves me to make it so everybody's renting, I still don't feel it's right for big corporations to basically control where everybody lives, because where you live, you need that. You need food, clothing, and shelter. It's a basic need. And for big corporations to control where people live and all that kind of stuff, I don't think that's right. I'd rather see people own more. But the thing I have the real big problem with is all these influencers, these crash bros, they're amassing huge followings. And all the people are, oh yeah, they're right. They've got all this data. Data schmata. The prices haven't gone down. The housing market hasn't crashed. Housing isn't affordable. And then they keep saying, oh no, wait. Do you know the time that's gone by? What is it, 4 years? That's 4 years if you would have had a property that you have been building equity in, that you've been fixing up. I mean, you'd be better off than just renting and not knowing what the hell is going to happen. This is something about renting that nobody talks about. When you rent, chances are you're not going to stay in that rental for a super long period of time. Chances are you're going to be moving a lot. Most rent, like especially single family homes, there's a lot of times where they're rented for a time period and they're like, all right, we're not renewing because we got to fix the house up or we got to sell. You're going to be moving a lot. It's going to be hard to establish roots somewhere. Now, I mean, if that's the situation we're in, like if you're young and you're trying to move around and you don't want to be tied down to a house or property, I get it. But what I'm saying is most people who have families that are trying to buy a single family home, they're looking for a place their kids can go to school in that particular area, because where you live dictates the school your kids are going to go to. So, I mean, what do you want to do? Tell your kids, oh yeah, you can't go, we got to switch schools because the landlord's not renewing his lease and all that kind of stuff. And another thing that a lot of people don't talk about is yeah, it's cheaper to rent. Well, I don't know. The last I checked, I've never seen rent not increase after a year, after the lease. Most rent goes up. I mean, unless you guys know these places where they just let you rent for years and years and they don't do a rent increase. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's out there. I haven't personally seen it. It's kind of like Bigfoot. You hear about them, but you don't really see them. That's what I've been hearing on the internet. These people, these talking heads, they just get on there and just talk about like one thing when they're trying to push their narrative. It's like, oh yeah, renting's great. Look, it's cheaper and I get to, live where I want and all this kind of stuff. It's like, no, you don't. It's still competitive to get a place to rent, and you're going to have less. If you're renting and it is cheaper than buying, then you're obviously going to have less. Because think about it. Somebody owns the house you're living in if you don't own it and you're renting it. Get it? Like somebody's paying the taxes, somebody's paying the insurance, somebody's paying the repairs, somebody's doing it. If you're the owner, it's you. If you're the renter, then the landlord is. But the the people who own the houses, they're not just going to sit back and like have their taxes, insurance, all these repairs happen, and they just take it in the butt and be like, oh, well, that sucks for us. Our loss is your gain. No, they're going to say, all right, well, next lease term, your rent's going up, because they got to pass those costs on to you as a renter. So in the long run, it's never cheaper to rent, unless you're like renting some little ass apartment and what you're looking to buy is some big house. Yeah, of course, a little ass apartment is going to be cheaper than an entire house. But I mean, that it's not, if you're talking about renting a house versus buying a house of the same caliber, the savings really isn't there. I mean, not that I've seen. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the area I'm in is different. But as far as I've seen and experienced, it's not like this huge savings. Like I just thought, I never saw that. So I just thought I'd give you guys my take on how all this stuff is going on. I mean, because I'm involved in credit, of course, I'm going to be looking at things like real estate, because real estate isn't that the end game? Isn't that why we're all here? To get our credit up to par so we can buy real estate, so we can start building wealth and, start having a taste of the good life, if you know what I mean. I mean, that's why I thought I was here. That's why I got into this. That's why I wanted my credit to be good, so I could acquire assets. And another thing that I want to bring up is, as far as like stocks and stuff, everybody's like, oh yeah, just take your down payment and put it into stocks and all this kind of stuff. Like, don't put 20% down, put down like 3.5% or whatever. There's some viral video, which I'm just like, dude, the math on that is like, it's like they just throw out these numbers and it's just like, what? I mean, it sounds convincing until you really break the math down. This one video where this guy's like, oh yeah, I'm going to put down 3.5%, but then I'm going to take the rest of the down payment that I would have paid and put it in the stock market, and I'm going to make $1 million. It's like, dude, if you don't put down 20%, your payment's going to be higher. Why don't you just take the payment that you would have paid towards the higher payment and just put that into the stock market? And I love the returns of the stock market. They talk about, 10% every year. I don't know any, like the stock market does not average 10% per year. That is like, I mean, I don't care, diversified, whatever. It's like 7. It's like 6.57%. It's not 10. Like, I don't know, like it'll go up, it'll be, like have a 1 year where it's 10% return. And oh yeah, stock market's 10%. Oh yeah. It's like, dude, that was 1 year. How about the years it went down or didn't make shit? That happens all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just like, I like guaranteed. I'll take guaranteed over a maybe any day of the week. Because if you put the money down, you're saving X amount of dollars, period. That's guaranteed. If you put it in the stock market, yeah, you could win. You could also lose. So it's like, I don't know. I have a problem with that. And another thing, as far as taxes are concerned, you have to pay money if you make money in the stock market. That's taxable income. If you save money by putting more down on the house, there's no tax on a savings. So, I mean, like, there's things that people, they don't like to talk about. They tell all the positives and don't bring up the negatives because it gets clicks, it gets views. I get it, me personally, honestly, it makes me sick because a lot of people are just falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. They're just going along with it, and they're not really thinking it through. Thank God, if you look in the comments, there's people that will actually go and call some of this shit out. So, I mean, that tells me that there's some sort of hope when it comes to all this. Because the way things have gotten, I personally, there's so many people on YouTube now, TikTok, all these people that are just blasting videos nonstop. It's kind of like, I don't know where to begin with it all. And 9 times out of 10, most of it's all bullshit. It's fake, AI-generated crap that's just like, oh, look at this 100-foot shark they found off the coast of Brisbane. It's like all fake. Oh, we found giant fossils here, or aliens caught on camera. It's all fake AI-generated stuff. That's another thing. This AI stuff is getting out of control. It's like the genie's out of the bottle. I mean, I get it, but as far as some of the things that people are doing with it, I mean, I don't know what the hell is going to happen, to be honest with you guys. As soon as I know, I'll let you guys know. So as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Crusader out.
For hundreds of more information-packed videos, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And if you're looking to take your knowledge to the next level, explore my workshops at thecrusadercave.com. I offer entertainment workshops on CPNs, public records, how to get cars, apartments. Hell, I've even got a workshop that shows you how to reassign zombie debt and so much more. So don't forget to check out thecrusadercave.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Crusader out.